Every writer should study the manga Death Note. There aren't many series that make you feel like you're watching a chess match at full speed, where every line of dialogue is a calculated move, and every scene is a trap being set or sprung. Death Note does that for 108 chapters and never loses the thread. And whether you're writing manga, novels, webtoons, or any kind of fiction, there are specific things happening in that series that you can adapt for your own stories. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly what Death Note does better than almost anything else in the medium, and how to apply those lessons to your own work. The first reason is the premise of Death Note. It's one of the most unique premises of any manga out there. A high school genius finds a notebook that can kill anyone whose name is written in it. He then uses it to rid the world of crime and become god of the new world. Here's what makes it extraordinary. The premise is a paradox. The only way Light Yagami can succeed at his goal is to keep doing something that makes him the very thing he's trying to destroy. He wants to create a world without criminals, but every time he uses the Death Note, he becomes a murderer. The story is powered by that contradiction from chapter 1, and it never lets go of it. Compare that to a premise like a hero trains to become the strongest fighter. That's a goal, but it's not a paradox. There's no built-in tension. The story has to manufacture conflict from outside the premise. Death Note's conflict lives inside the idea itself. Light doesn't need an external villain to create tension. He is the tension. If you're struggling to write your own story premise, ask yourself, what does my protagonist want? What do they have to do to get it? And does the thing they have to do contradict who they're trying to be? The second reason is how Death Note portrays intelligent characters. This is one of the hardest things to do in fiction, and Death Note does it better than almost any manga ever written. You get to see how intelligent Light Yagami is because you watch him think in real time. An easy trap that writers fall into is creating a character who's supposedly a genius, but then the plot just bends around them. It's not really an intelligent character, it's mostly just plot armor. Death Note does the opposite. Every move Light makes has visible logic. When the investigation closes in on him, you see him calculate. When a trap is set, you watch him dismantle it step by step. In the early arcs, Light creates an airtight alibi that even when L suspects him directly and puts him under 24-hour surveillance, Light finds a way to keep operating. He escapes by thinking through all the most likely scenarios and engineering the way out in advance. He accounts for every variable and still manages to seem innocent while doing it. And then there's L, the greatest detective in the world. L is equally brilliant in the opposite direction. L doesn't know Light is Kira, but he builds a probability framework that leads him directly to Light Yagami. He knows Light is actually Kira, he just can't prove it yet, but he knows. And the tension between what L suspects and what he can legally act on is one of the best dynamics in the entire series. The lesson here is that intelligent characters need to operate within constraints. That's what makes their intelligence visible. If Light could just kill anyone he wanted with no consequences, there'd be no story. It's the rules, the limits, the fact that he can't use the Death Note freely without exposing himself that forces him to be creative. His intelligence shows up in how he navigates those constraints. The lesson to learn is, when you're writing a smart character, don't just tell the reader they're smart. Put them in a box and make them solve it. Let the reader see the process and come to the conclusion about the character's intelligence on their own. Show the wrong moves they consider and reject. Show the moment they find the angle nobody else saw. The secret is that intelligence in fiction is almost like a performance. Ask yourself, what's the hardest problem my smartest character has to solve? Can I make the reader feel the pressure of that problem before I show the solution? And does the solution reveal something specific about how that character thinks, rather than just advancing the plot? Reason number 3 is the pacing of Death Note. Death Note has a ton of dialogue and internal monologues that create the tension. There are almost no action sequences in the traditional manga sense. No fights, no power-ups, no physical stakes in the way shonen readers are used to. It's two people in different rooms thinking at each other across chapters. And it's one of the fastest-paced manga ever written. On paper, it shouldn't work, but it does. And the reason it does comes down to one thing. Every scene ends at a different place than it started. One side gains information, loses leverage, sets a trap, or falls into one. And that shift happens in almost every chapter without exception. Think about the scene where L first appears on television as a decoy. He broadcasts a fake message from himself to bait Kira into using the Death Note. Light takes the bait and kills who he thinks is L. Then the real message plays. L reveals it was a trap, that the person Light killed was a criminal on death row already, and that he's now narrowed Kira's location to a specific region of Japan. In the span of a few pages, the entire power dynamic between Light and L flips. Light thinks he won, then he realizes he lost, and the reader is right there, feeling both of those things almost simultaneously. That's what great pacing actually is. It's not really speed, it's momentum. The story is continuously moving forward without feeling stagnant. Every scene adds information that changes what the next scene means. When you read Chapter 10, Chapter 9 means something slightly different than it did before. That keeps readers from putting the book down because they're curious about what happens next, and they're thinking through everything they already saw happen. The practical takeaway is this: look at every scene in your story and ask what changed. Not what happened, what changed. Who has more power at the end of this scene than they did at the beginning? Who knows something they didn't know before? If the answer is nobody, the scene isn't earning its place. Ask yourself, does every scene in my story end at a different power position than it started? Is the reader gaining information that recontextualizes what came before? If I removed this scene entirely, would anything after it not make sense in the story? The fourth reason is how Death Note handles morality. This is where most stories would flinch. A protagonist who kills people and believes it's justified is a difficult character to get people to like. Most writers either make the protagonist fully evil so the audience can comfortably root against them, or they pull back and make the protagonist sympathetic in ways that undercut the darkness. Death Note doesn't do either. Light Yagami is genuinely compelling in his logic. He starts out as an innocent high school kid, and we get to see how he rationalizes the Death Note. When he lays out his reasoning, you understand it. From Light's point of view, criminals are destroying lives. The justice system is slow and imperfect. If someone had the power to eliminate that suffering, wouldn't it be more evil not to use the Death Note? His argument is coherent, even though he's playing God. And that's exactly what makes it terrifying. He feels like the good guy, even though he's actually the villain. The series never validates his logic. It doesn't argue back at him through another character giving a big speech about why he's wrong. It just shows the consequences. The more Light uses the Death Note, the less his ideals seem to matter. By the end of the story, he's not just killing criminals to protect the innocent. He's now killing anyone to protect himself. The corruption is gradual and completely believable. It's a great example on how to write a morally complex character. Let the reader see the character's worldview at first, then you let the story show the consequences that worldview produces. The reader does the work of judging the character themselves. And because they do, the conclusion lands harder than any direct statement you as a writer could make. Ask yourself, does my morally complex character have logic that actually holds up under scrutiny? Does the story let that logic breathe before it shows the consequences? Am I telling the reader what to think, or am I trusting them to figure it out on their own? The fifth reason is how Death Note uses its supporting cast. This often gets overlooked because Light and L consume so much of the story, but the supporting characters in Death Note make it even better. Ryuk is the most obvious example. He's the Shinigami who drops the Death Note into the human world, and then just watches. He has no stake in the outcome. He's not on Light's side. He's not on L's side. He's there because humans are interesting to him, the way an ant colony is interesting to someone with a magnifying glass. That detachment makes him one of the most unsettling presences in the series, and it pays off at the very end in a way that's completely consistent with everything he told Light at the beginning. Misa functions differently. She's shown as someone who would do anything for Light, but her willingness to sacrifice half her lifespan twice over for someone who views her as a tool is its own kind of tragedy. Even the later investigators, Nier and Mello, are constructed as deliberate reflections of Light and L. Nier has L's analytical precision without the human connection. Mello has Light's ambition without the careful control. The supporting cast in Death Note exists to reveal things about the main characters that the main characters can't reveal themselves. Ryuk shows you what Light looks like from an outside perspective. Misa shows you what Light's worldview costs someone who believes in him. Nier and Mello show you what L and Light were each missing. Every supporting character in Death Note reveals something about the protagonist that the protagonist can't reveal about themselves. They hold a mirror up at an angle the reader hasn't seen yet. Ask yourself, what does each supporting character in my story reveal about my protagonist that the protagonist can't reveal about themselves? And is every character in my cast doing specific work that nobody else in the cast could? In conclusion, Death Note is one of the best written stories in fiction. Its premise is a paradox that creates its own conflict. Intelligent characters like Light and L work within constraints that make their brains visible. It has pacing that moves consistently, even through dialogue alone. It brings up morally complex questions that it answers through consequences. And its supporting cast of characters reveal things about the protagonist that the protagonist can't show directly. These aren't specific to only Death Note. Death Note just executes them at a level that makes them impossible to miss. That's why you should study it and apply it to your own story. If this video helped you, hit the like button and leave a comment below. Also, if you want to get started writing your first one-shot manga, head over to mangascript.com to download the one-shot guide. It's a page-by-page breakdown of 3 high-quality manga one-shots, and it makes it 10 times easier to write your own script. And don't forget to join our Discord community. The link is in the description. It's a great place to share your work and connect with fellow creators. Thanks for watching.